we met last year at Goodwood.
Yes, I remember very well.
We were so sorry your wife couldn't come to us for the weekend. We were expecting rather a nice lot of people.
Yes, it is a pity.
Still, I suppose everybody's after her, so we can only say better luck next time.
You can put the car away, Summers, thank you. Good night.
Can I get you something, sir?
No, thanks. I had some dinner on the train.
Very good, sir.
You can go to bed.
Well, thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Wes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, George. How was town?
It's all the same as usual. I just got the last train home. Look here, Evie. What is all this about our being asked to Haverhill Castle and you refusing?
I thought it would only bore you.
Bore me? When we've never been asked before? Good heavens. And he's Lord Lieutenant of the county? Now, quite apart from his having the finest shooting for miles around.
I didn't think of that. I'm sorry.
I suppose I was asked.
Well, as a matter of fact, you weren't.
I think it's extremely rude to ask you without asking me.
Well, I suppose they thought it wasn't your sort of a party. The Duchess is rather fond of writers and people like that, you know. Henry Dashwood, the critic, is going, and for some reason he wants to meet me.
It was nice of you to refuse, Evie.
It was the least I could do. Oh, George, my publishers rang up yesterday. They're giving a little party for me on Wednesday, and of course they want you to come too.
I don't think that's quite my mark, you know. Sounds a crashing bore.
I would like you to come. We could go up to London in the morning and...
Can't manage that, I'm afraid. Wednesday's the hunt committee at 3 o'clock. I couldn't be up to town till 7. Tell you what, you make a day of it, and I'll come up for the party.
Oh, it would be sweet of you.
Not at all. I've got to be in town on Thursday anyway.
It's remarkable. I shouldn't be surprised he's ready for a 6th edition. Well, we hope so.
Colonel Peregrine?
Oh, yes?
My name's Martin, your wife's publisher. I'm so glad you were able to come. I think Mrs. Peregrine's over here, sir. Yes.
Thanks, I was.
You know, we haven't had a success like this with a book of verse for 20 years. I've never seen such reviews. Oh, John, let me introduce Colonel Peregrine, Catherine Hamilton's husband, you know. This is Mr. John Coleman of our New York office.
How do you do?
You must be a very proud man, Colonel Peregrine.
Oh, yes, I am, of course.
This book of your wife's is something out of this world. It'll be a smash hit back home, too. It's the biggest thing we've handled in years.
Oh, really?
Oh, wait, please. Are you really E.K. Hamilton's husband? You know, I think you're a very privileged person to be able to sit at the feet of such genius.
I don't know when I've been so moved as I was by her book. I read it through twice at a single sitting, and now I never let a day pass without reading it at least once.
Oh, really? How nice. How nice. Excuse me.
My dear, I had to lock the door of my room when I read it. It made me feel quite naked, if you know what I mean.
Well, I must say I keep my copy locked up. I would like my husband to find it. Might give him ideas.
You know, that's what I find so fascinating. Apparently her husband doesn't mind at all.
Oh, but he must, surely.
Oh, but he can't. He's actually here tonight.
You're not serious.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I've seen him. Johnny pointed him out to me. He's, Oh, Colonel Paragon, I'm so pleased to have met you.
How do you do?
Wonderful, isn't it?
You were wonderful, dear. You made quite a hit. The girls were raving about you. They thought you were so handsome.
Girls? Old hags.
You bored?
Stiff? Oh, do you mind if we wait and go on the evening train tomorrow, Evie? I've a few things I want to do.
No. That'll suit me very well. There are one or two things I want to buy, and I have to be photographed. Oh, I hate the idea, but they think I ought to be. For America, you know.
Can I help you, sir?
Huh? No, I was just looking round. Oh, by the way, have you got a book called Though Pyramids Decay?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We're completely sold out. We're expecting a new edition any day now.
Is there another edition, then?
Yes, sir. The 5th. Might be a novel the way it's selling. Can I order you a copy, sir?
Yes, please. Colonel Peregrine, St. James's Club. Why do you suppose it's such a success? I've always been told that no one reads poetry.
Well, this is good, you know. I've read it myself. It's the story they like. Sexy, but tragic. Hot stuff, but it's literature.
I see.
Of course, this is only a flash in the pan, if you know what I mean. The way I look at it, she must have been inspired by some personal experience, like Houseman with the Shropshire Lad. She'll never write anything else.
Look here, you needn't worry about that order. I think I know where I can borrow a copy.
Well, George, I brought you the book. Is that all you wanted me for?
Oh, no, Daphne, no. Of course not.
Look, George, I'm awfully good at listening to husbands whose wives don't understand them.
As a matter of fact, it was about the book.
Hmm.
It was something a young chap in a bookshop said, and something I noticed last night.
What did he say?
Something about it being sexy. Hot stuff.
Well, isn't it?
Well,
George, you don't mean to say you haven't read it.
well, as a matter of fact, no.
George, you're the end. You mean your wife can write the luscious book since Lady Chatterley and you don't even trouble to read it?
Well, Look, Daphne, you've read it.
Hmm.
What's it about?
Do you want me to tell you? Oh, well, no, really, George. I'd much rather not. You read it for yourself.
Oh, please tell me. Let's go over there.
All right. You're sure you want me to?
Yes, please.
Remember, you asked for it. So don't hold it against me afterwards.
I won't.
Well, it's, Oh, thank you. Well, it's a sort of love story. Only it's all told in the first person, so you believe it's actually happening when you read it. You see what I mean? The person who's telling the story is a middle-aged woman married, and she falls in love with a younger man, much younger. When she first meets him, she likes him. She doesn't believe he could ever be interested in her. Well, not in that way. But one day, he tells her that he is, and asks her to leave her husband and go away with him. She's pretty much in love with him by this time. But she doesn't believe it can last, so she says no. This doesn't make any difference to the young man. He still keeps on seeing her, and soon they reach the stage when they can't do without each other. So they don't. She keeps telling herself it'll all be over in a few weeks. But it isn't. In fact, it gets worse instead of better. And soon they're meeting 2 or 3 times a week. In fact, whenever she can manage it without the husband knowing. And then, just when she's sure it's the real thing, and she's decided to go away with him, he gets killed. She just has to go on giving dinner parties and running the house as though nothing had happened. Well, that's all. Except it makes you feel that it's actually happening to you. It's so real. I don't mind telling you, when I read it, I spent half the time crying